Hi guys, welcome back. We have autumn now. Summer is over and there's going to be a lot of fruit coming in autumn. I mentioned the tamarillos in a recent video. They've only just started to turn, so these are late. They come through winter. And then we have all the lovely figs, and there's hundreds of them. We've already been feasting on the brown turkey for the last 3 weeks. This is the white Genoa, the larger fig trees that we have here, and they go right through to May. And then we have the persimmons, which are also coming in April and May. And there's about 200 of them on this Fuyu persimmon. Lots and lots to eat, guys. Autumn is the most abundant season of the year at Fruitopia. I've had to tie up the jujube, the chico, because of the crazy amount of fruit. I don't know if we're going to be able to eat all these, but we're going to try, guys. We're going to try our best. I'm going to really butcher it back once we're done, because we don't want the tree so big, right? So that's another one coming shortly in about 2 weeks. Lots and lots of avocados still on the tree. This is the Hass. There's over 50 avocados that will be ready to pick through autumn and winter. Pomelos, they're usually ready, start getting ready in June, so that's the beginning of winter, so another 3 months for the pomelo. Jabuticaba, lots of autumn fruit coming here. I've already had a couple, so finally we're getting some decent amount of crop on the jabo. It's taken its time. This is the small leaf, so you got to be very patient with this variety. 12 years to be exact. Yeah, 12 years, guys. The Gyro Persimmon, which is the giant size Fuyu. These are ready to pick now, actually, and let them ripen on the counter before the birds start pecking on them. This is a favorite for the parrots. They're not as big as they were last year because there's a lot more of them, right? There's like 3 times the amount that we had last year on the Gyro Persimmon. A lot. There's about 40 of them instead of last year's 20. So every season is different, guys. It's very windy today. We're getting all that stormy weather from Sydney. Not the rain, but the wind. Lots and lots of banana racks or bunches for those up north in Queensland. Weird, aren't they? The weirdos in Queensland call them bunches. Yeah, so I got about 12 racks hanging this autumn. Lots and lots of bananas coming all year. Amazing. And from bananas we go to apples. This is the Jonathan apple tree. It's netted, so hard to see. There's about 50 apples in here, which are being protected from the wildlife, namely the birds. There's another view of the pomelo. As you can see, it's super loaded this year. It's amazing. Wow, there's at least 30, yeah, maybe 40 of these big fellas. Yeah, easily 40. So that's wonderful. Yeah, and these guys come from winter all the way to summer, skipping autumn. The bountiful Valencia orange tree, which gave us over 200 oranges this spring and summer, and there's still over 100 in there. Hard to keep up, guys, hard to keep up. It's amazing. They're just falling every day to the ground. The final grapefruits are ready to pick. They just fall off when you touch them, right? Well, this one isn't, but all the others have just come off when I touch them. which is unusual that they're not coming off here. There you go. So there's about a dozen left. The ruby red grapefruit, very delicious. And that's next season's crop, as you can see. Not as many as there were last season, but a good amount, at least 30. So we're happy about that. Squillions of limes, over 200 limes on this Tahitian lime tree. This one I've had for 12 years. And these come in late autumn, around late April, May, June, July, August into winter. It's a beautiful tree. Highly recommend the Tahitian, but I've had to cincture it because it's growing out of hand. So I did a bit of cincturing on the citrus a couple of days ago. Same on the grapefruit. And here we have the macadamia, which is loaded with nuts. These will be ready sometime over autumn. There's about 50 nuts. Not as many nuts as you would hope for a tree this large, but that's what I ended up getting 12 years ago. This is a 12 to 13 year old tree, guys. So I didn't know much about macadamias back then, and that's what I got. Now I also added a dwarf macadamia, which is only a couple of years old. But yeah, this is coming on now. They'll be ready in about a month or two. We have lemons as well on our lemon tree. I am hoping for a lot of mangoes at this time of the year. At some point, once these mangoes get older. This is the Glen, just gave us one fruit this year like it did last year. So hopefully in the years to come, we'll be getting a dozen of these in March, the beginning of autumn. So got to be very patient. Either you buy these mature, like Elisa did, ready to fruit, or already fruiting, or like I did. I got this as a baby 7 years ago. So it's been a 7-year wait to get one fruit instead of a 1 year wait for 7 fruit, like on her mango. There'll be hundreds of these pineapple guavas coming over the next 3 months, March, April, May, and into early June, into winter. This year's crop is nowhere near as much as last year, right? It's like much less, but still these are pretty bountiful trees. Looks like this year it's had a rest, but when you have 3 or 4 of them, right, it doesn't matter. Like there might be only 30 or 40 on this tree, but on the other tree over here, let's see, yeah, see, this one's got a lot more. So when you have multiple trees, whilst one tree rests, the other tree says, I'm not resting this year, I'll rest next year. And then it's like a rotation, right? Yeah, it looks pretty packed in there. They're pretty small still though. Then we have the early variety Mandarins. This is the Japanese Mandarin, which is ready in May. So that's the end of autumn. These are very easy to peel and very juicy. And here's another pineapple guava. A different variety though than the first two I showed you. Not sure which variety it is. This one comes late. This is a late variety. Of course the pomegranates, well in this case my neighbors, right, which I'll be enjoying, is giving me permission to pick as many as I want. This is the wonderful variety. My pomegranates didn't do as well. I was excited when I saw so many of them coming, and then they just stopped growing and the tree just went into winter mode, dropping all its leaves. Can't believe it, being in the ground. So I don't know what's going on with my pomegranates. The same with the Ben Hur. They gave me one fruit, but very embarrassing to share. Very embarrassing. Look at it. The Ben-Hur. This is a 10-year-old pomegranate in the ground. 10 years in the ground. And that's all it has to... That's all it has to show for itself. Pretty pathetic, actually. There's a couple more there, but they're really small. Right? So, the Elsh and the Ben-Hur. Major disappointments. And I'm guessing it's because of the hedge. The hedge is stealing all the nutrients and all the water from them both. That's my guess. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, very windy today. We were hoping to go into the beach, but it's just too windy. 23 Celsius, but with the wind, it feels like 16. So we're staying home. This is the Wampy. It's almost ready. I had one yesterday and it was sour. So just have to wait another couple of weeks for the Wampy. Good news though is it's flushed out, the tree. It's sort of done a little bit more growing than before. So it is getting bigger, guys, slightly every year, right? But it should have been as big as that white Sapote tree because they were planted at the same time, right? Same time, 7 years ago. Look at the difference in height. Can you see the difference? Wow, and this has been pruned like 10 times. I've never pruned a Wampy. If I hadn't pruned the white Sapote, it would have been 4 meters by now. It would have been up there, easily. It's a beast. Whereas this guy is a sook. Not a sook like that, but, you know, retarded. That's the word. He's retarded. Anyway, the taste is great though. And there's more and more fruit every year, and they're getting bigger. I recently bought a different variety to go with this one. Right now, I've got the names not coming to me of the varieties because I'm moving fast, guys. I'm moving fast, so I don't have a sheet in front of me to read from. The black Sapote finally has set fruit all over. There's like, man, I would say 40 fruit. But a lot of these are just fruitlets and they'll fall, right? So that's good news that we finally got fruit set after 3 or 4 months of flowering. It's been flowering since December. And now in March, we're in business. We're good to go. The white Sapote, as I've shown you previously, is starting to come back from the butchering I gave it, the cincturing I gave it. Hopefully it's gonna fruit for us like crazy. It's already started doing that. So be very careful in planting one of these monstrosities. I gave it a double girdle, not a single girdle, all the way around twice. The lemon gold white Sapote is the one to go for, as it's always loaded every year. Look at that. Huh? Look at all that. That's what you want. It's crazy. We can't even eat all these. We have to pass them on. Look what's going on in there. Yeah. So, not my favorite tasting white Sapote, but always handy because it's very vigorous and very fruitful and never lets you down. Look at that, it's crazy. This will be ready in May, late April, May. So it's a mid-season variety. Over there's the early season one. This is the Hawaiian Supreme. These are usually ready now in March, but this year they haven't ripened. Yeah, so one year they're ready in March, the next year they're ready in April. So it switches between year and year. And these aren't as big as the lemon gold. They're usually a lot smaller. I had a couple of them a few days ago that were ready, but they were tiny. They were like these, really, really tiny. So, and as you can see, they fall to the ground. See, I put them around the trunk. They're tiny. So this is my favorite variety. And yeah, it's all happening here. You got the small ones, you got the big ones. I'll show you on the other side. That's the normal size for the Hawaiian Supreme, this one here. Or that one there. That's normal. So it's a mid-size fruit. But it has a lot of these little ones, which the other white sapotes don't. A lot of these little ones. And it's also flowering, guys. It's doing everything. It's flowering, it's fruiting, it's getting new bark, new leaves, new branches, everything going on at once. And I usually remove these. See these here? I usually remove these because I want the middle area here to be open, not full of these young branches. I remove these. And this one here, see that? That's all gonna go. And this one, look. See this one? Now these would be great cuttings for grafting, but I'm not doing any grafting at this moment, so that's off the table. And lastly, the benefits of autumn, or why autumn rocks over any other season, is we get these lemon guavas. They come at the end of March, right through April, and then a second crop in June, in winter. Yeah. And I'm hoping to get a second crop from this Grumichama, which finished flowering recently. You can see here. I've never had a second crop. Sorry, a third crop. We had 2 crops. Right? So, oh, there's a pretty butterfly on top of the Grumichama. I'll probably put that on my Instagram. Remember, guys, check out my Instagram for updates. That looks like a Melbourne native butterfly or moth. Cute, huh? And we finished the video with a passion fruit, which has been awesome all summer. Been picking these since around late December, around Christmas, through January and February. And we've had easily 300, maybe more, off the vine. It's only a 2-year-old vine. Yeah. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the autumn, early autumn update. There's a couple of more passion fruits still on here. Not many, maybe 20 left. And well, that's it for now. And here's a good view of the lemon guavas now that the sun is shining. Look how many there are. And I've got 2 of these trees. This is the main one. Again, we can't eat all these. It's too many. Too many little guavas. I should have thinned it out, but too lazy to get bigger fruit. And that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you from the next video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And over and out for now. Everyone's waiting for this. This is the highlight at Fruitopia in autumn. Yeah. The white sapotes.